他比我们还厉害讲话。
哎，你来帮我讲。
好了，拿一个板放在那边来念。
那我就这样，OK 呢
Our designers are given an image of a master bedroom. They can design it freely with only one requirement. With their designs completed, our designers will meet, share, and explain their design.
Hi, I'm Joelle. My philosophy in my design is human and home. I like to mixture of different kind of material to achieve a different style and design a comfortable home for people.
I'm Wei Kai. So my style I would say is too extreme end, okay? So it's either with a lot of bold colors like green, red, blue, this kind, or super minimalist whereby the whole entire home is perhaps like white color, blue color, this kind of theme only.
Hey, my name is Matty Tan. 我的 design just very simple, so just to make sure owner happy and me myself happy. That's all.
3, 2, 1. Wow.
你做
我的很白呢，我的跟你 compare to 你们的。
也是不一样的 ，OK。
全部不同的
OK， 来，谁要 start 先？
Wei Kai。
你咯。
对，别打 target，OK， 那么，所以我整个 team 的话，我的是 resort inspired 的 design。OK， 所以然后以地上来讲的话，我整间地上我actually是用 to micro cement from Floor Expert 的。OK， 然后以墙壁来讲的话，我也是用 to something more consistent, more similar, which is limestone wash. So that to actually mimic the effect of like cave, those kind of like beach effect. Then in terms of window wise, I try to keep it super open, okay? Reason being because to me, result wise, I like it to be very natural, as natural as possible with a lot of natural sunlight. Then even above the bed, this area here, it's actually all open to skylight. So let's say in terms of window wise, if there's any like rain or this, then of course there will be a glass to actually block it up. Then behind the bed here, because I don't want everything to be too overwhelming in terms of color scheme or this, so I try to keep it more simple by just having one of the wall to be featured. So this wall is actually made of like natural stones kind of effect to actually mimic like the cave effect, like those rock in the mountains kind of area as well. So that's one reason why I actually have one feature wall here to actually keep it like a focal point to draw to that area itself.
So basically 这个 Wes Anderson 的 team 呢，它是 more to colorful and also 比较 retro 的。So the material that I chosen is okay. Basically 这个是 engineering wood, which is from Floor Expert, and then also I'm using quite a lot of wallpaper actually, and also the painting for nipple paint. And also another requirement 就是比较 symmetric. So as you all know that I'm not a symmetric person, so I make it a bit asymmetric. So basically 你可以看到这两个门，它是不一样的。And also 我有用了一些 cornices 这些东西， so 让它 with a lot of detailing, so make it look more retro.
My team is luxury ranch. I can say this is a fusion kind of combination. So I make this space spacious, and this wall I integrate with the textured wall. So in natural colors. So it combined with the Nippon paint that I selected in gray and more neutral kind of palette like cream. So similar to the floor I suggested to blend it with the Floor Expert vinyl floor, but in a tiles kind of size, so to make it more luxury looks and blend into the overall feel. And the floor I selected Hafari tiles, which is homogeneous tile in a dark tone in matte finish. And this wall I suggested with a very loud kind of a stone feature throughout the whole headboard to blend in the luxury and the grunge feel. I suggest a matte finish kind of wood feeling from Amira for the wardrobe design to bring in the grunge look.
Okay, so for mine, right, actually in terms of building 我是没有很多啦 okay? 所以大致上这边是一个 ledge, okay? 只是 for let's say I would serve it as a breakfast kind of table or a bar table to actually have the full view of the sea as well lah, okay? So in terms of material wise, I'm actually using this wood material, okay, which is from Amira. So it's actually to have this kind of like natural wood jungly kind of effect as well lah. Then in terms of the other carpentry area that I have is mainly for the walk-in kind of wardrobe effect. Okay, so in terms of material wise, because like I mentioned earlier, I want to keep it everything all 很 similar, 很 consistent, clean cut 啦。所以 material 来讲的话，我 actually 用 to something similar to lime wash 也是 ，okay, which is also from Admira. Okay, then afterwards, last but not least, 它最后这边它的这个 feature wall is actually a reflective kind of feature wall as well. So actually 就是给它空间看起来很像比 originally 还更大的那种感觉咯。Okay, 所以也是带一点点 different texture, 一点点 different elements 在里面 ，so that to tie the entire design together 咯。剩下还有一些东西是比较重要的啦 ，OK， which is what I think is most important for 我的 design。这边 actually 我是开一个洞在我的天花板上面 ，to actually create this kind of water ripple effect 啦。连冲凉的时候，哇，连上面有水的 effect 那种 ripple 是很特别啦，我觉得。OK， 然后地上这边来讲的话，因为是冲凉 area， 我也不要说用砖还是什么东西，因为怕滑嘛，所以我是 actually create 那种比较有点 stone pebble like 的感觉。连同时也是那种比较石头这样子，然后上面就是一个 rain effect、rain shower， 所以 actually 感觉上就很像哇那种下雨天的那种感觉咯。然后后面的话 ，actually 我这边是有一个特别的防 feature 也是。3D 这边看不到啦 ，OK， 就是它是有一个 integrated 的 jacuzzi 这样子的 effect 咯，就是3根在地上里面的。然后其他的 loose element 来讲的话，我是 try to keep it similar to whatever wood material that I'm proposing, whatever kind of like limestone I'm proposing, so at least to tie the entire thing together， 不会看起来太花花俏俏咯。OK， 同时间因为我的 team 算是 resort 嘛，连已经有水、有山、有海洋，只差草而已，所以我后面这边的话也是用一些那种比较 bamboo 的 effect 啊，用一点那种 natural stones 放在里面 around the houses， 尤其是这些 ，OK， 还有这边还有一个 branches 这些 effect， 就是带一点点3至不同的那种 natural elements 在一起哦，所以 you can see all at one glance 啦，所以就是那种比较层次感、比较大自然的感觉咯。
Luxury theme and grunge, how to combine it using the cove light. You can see this design do a lot of cove light above the wardrobe, the ceiling, and even below the bed to have the floating kind of effect. So to enhance the texture for all these features. The decor is so important for this theme, so I suggest decor in the can have a cement look or some reflective elements decor like what we suggest here, so it can bring this theme more fun and then more lively. You can have also abstract art to add in the luxury feel, but just little very simple kind of framing. For this theme, I don't suggest a lot of picture is so-called carpentry work. Just for this design, basically create a L-shaped wardrobe here, integrate with the study table. It's very simple to give it that kind of exclusive kind of feel. And the bed, they keep it low.
So basically, Wes Anderson 它的 color 是比较老的，把我选了一些 color 是比较容易接受的 color 啦，哦，就 as in like，你看，等于说门啊 ，carpentry 全部我都用同一个 color， 连别的呢就用另外一个 color。Whole team 不能只是靠一个 color 啦 ，because color painting is only 一个 solid color 嘛。That's why 我选了一些 wallpaper，you know，like 这些全部都是比较不一样的 wallpaper。To soften 整个房间的 colors， so it look more 比较舒服啦。然后说Wes Anderson 呢，另外一个特点呢，就是他很喜欢用这种小小的照片 ，so 用这一个不一样的大小的照片，bring out 比较古典的风，比较 retro 的感觉。Then for 我的呢 ，basically is like mainly play with like things actually. So basically for retro theme 的话 ，I think 应该也是知道like。like 有 wall light 啦，或者 chandelier 啦，或一些小小的灯啦，哈。我 quite focus on 我的床头啦，哈，所以我用了这个bed canopy， 所以整个design看起来会比较梦幻一点。Then about bed frame 呢，我特地用的一些 material 是 cast iron，which is similar with 我的 chandelier，and also 我吊wall light 的这些 metal 的 frame。So 真的很难说一样去介绍。So 它基本上整个design呢是 based on whole team， 整个 team 能做出来整个 team 的感觉，这个才是最重要的。
OK， 所以 design 来讲的话，整体上我遇到最困难的问题 就是因为我刚才讲嘛，我想要太 ambitious，就是那些又有 open natural skylight 啊，又要有山，又要有水，又要有草，这3样东西，因为空间位置也是有限制嘛，所以 quite hard for 我 to 把全部东西 combine into one 咯。OK， 然后大致上的话，因为 resort team 也人家判断全部都是不同的，可能有些是比较喜欢亮的，有些是比较喜欢那种 cozy 的，就是也是很难找到一个 balance 咯。所以我是觉得以我自己的作品，我是挺满意的，把这些东西大致上就是 face 最难的，就是把这些东西 dice together 咯。
I think the big challenge for my design to combine the luxury and grunge is luxury is these two themes is very distinct. One is very luxury, one is I can say very seasoned and old. So how to combine these two themes? So I think it's a big challenge for me. They're quite happy with these products, this design, which I think have a harmony feel for this both themes.
For 我的challenging 啊，就是其实我连谁是 Wes Anderson 我都不知道。until 我抽到的时候，我才开始认识他。所以我开始认识他的时候，我做了很多 study research about 这个 design。So design 出来了，我觉得整个 overall 的 theme 啊，我还挺满意的啦吼。至少它有一些 detailing 我都可以符合到。But for 这个系列，我又面对另外一个问题，我不懂怎么样 explain。所以简单来说就是这样咯。
这个 series 都觉得很 interesting， 就是我们跟平常我们做 designer 一样，我们都会尽力去符合，把不同的 team、不同的要求，尽量跟它 harmony 的，就是很好的跟它搭配在一起。这就是我看就是我们 designer 所想追求的，就是尽力就是把不同的感觉做到最好了。
屋主开心，我们开心了，
大家
所以现在全部在先开心。
Thank you for watching this episode and big thanks to all our sponsors.
If you're interested in any of our sponsored material, please check out the description box below.
Please help us like, share and subscribe and look forward to a new episode. Bye.
Bye bye.